So, welcome everybody to the Superman Man of Steel special.
Hi.
This is our spoiler-heavy episode. Spoiler heavy. Spoilers everywhere, all the time.
Spoilers!
Spoilers!
We will spoil the shit out of this movie.
So, if you haven't seen it and you don't want to know anything,
stop listening now.
Now. Like, right fucking now, turn this off. If you don't care, keep listening. Or if you've already seen it, keep listening. Otherwise, turn it off now.
Now.
Have you turned it off yet? Why are you still listening? Okay. Well, we warned you. All right, so Man of Steel. Fucking awesome. Loved every minute of it. What do you think, Ox?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I'm not as drooling over it as you are, but that's just me. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. I loved it. You know, I gotta say that Russell Crowe's performance was off the charts. Just
so much better than I was expecting.
Oh my god. Like, I was so worried and so scared when I heard that he was gonna be Jor-El, but best Jor-El ever.
Absolutely. 20 times better than Marlon Brando.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that, you know, even though after he died, he's still showing up in the movie. And
great editing at that point, dude. I mean,
oh, yeah.
When Lois is in that ship.
Yeah.
And just going from place to place. The editing was fucking perfect.
Yeah, because he's just popping in, and it's that perfect performance of scientific-minded, very matter-of-fact, this is what needs to be done, pointing. Like, not even a word needed to be said. He just would point.
Go this way. Go that way. Go this way.
Turn your head to the left.
Duck. You're about to be shot at.
Shoot that guy.
Just, you're like, oh, shift your head to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you would also be omnipotent.
Well, he...
Yeah.
It wasn't that he was omnipotent. It was that as
he was able to interact with the live environment.
Right.
Which was...
Well, he was a program
right.
that was downloaded into the computer, into the ship itself.
Right.
So being in the ship itself, he had access to the ship's scanners. And that gave him that omnipotent sense.
I just think he played it perfectly.
Oh,
I thought he did it really well. And I'm not a Russell Crowe fan. I think most of what he's done is bad.
Yeah.
But I liked him.
You know, I would say it's right on caliber with, like, that Gladiator performance. And that was a fantastic performance for him. I liked it.
In all honesty, before this movie, my favorite... Oh, fuck, what's that movie called? Him and Denzel Washington. Mid-90s.
I don't know.
You talk, I'll look it up.
Okay. You know, just overall fantastic performance. I love Zod. Zod was just crazy. Absolutely.
Perfectly cast.
Just
so
batshit fucking crazy. You know, even the eyes were crazy. And that's the thing I love.
Dude looked batshit.
Oh, he did. And the scar worked so well for him. Like, he rocked that scar. You know, I loved how well they cast Superman, Lois Lane, even Perry.
Virtuosity,
Oh, okay,
the physical embodiment of a computer program.
right.
Yeah, loved it. Anyway,
Now, I hinted to Ox earlier about this. There was a question that was posed to me.
bear in mind he's blindsiding me with this question completely. He only said he had a question for me.
It was posed online, and it was a question that came out day after launch.
Okay.
Made me think hardcore. Now, you remember the scene where Superman goes and talks to the priest.
Yes.
It was posed that what if the priest was Martian Manhunter? Think about...
Oh, God. I knew you were going to do this.
Haha!
You bastard. Let me get back to you. I got to think about this.
So, for those of you that have seen it, which is hopefully all of you, because you should have turned it off by now, if you haven't, it's the scene, where he goes in, he's asking for counsel with the priest, and Martian Manhunter is an individual that can shapeshift and look like anyone. And so, it was more based on the conversation style.
You know the worst thing is?
Now you're thinking about it.
Now that I've fully thought it through, if that actually turns out to be Martian Manhunter, I'm actually going to be pretty pissed. Because that's a pretty lame plot angle, in my opinion.
But it was it was one of those, when it was asked by the individual online, it was one where they were like, what do you think about this? They're like, probably not true, but it would be interesting. And I'm like, oh. Because even with the way the conversation went,
Yeah.
the conversation was very John Jones
Yeah.
and Man of Steel. I mean, it was that, like, and the reactions that the priest had, to walk in to a church and you look at the priest and you go, I'm an alien. And they don't go, you're fucking crazy. They sit down and talk to you and go, well, what do you think you should do?
Yeah.
That's very unusual behavior for a human priest.
God, I don't know, man.
Especially
I don't know.
a human priest running a church in Kansas.
But he was Catholic. It was a Catholic church.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Find me a Catholic preacher in the middle of Kansas, podunk fucking Kansas, that when you walk in, regardless of current events, and you go, I'm a space alien, I'm the one they're looking for, isn't going to call you fucking crazy and throw you out.
You need to call whoever you're escaped from.
Martian Manhunter would probe your brain and go, oh, well, son of a bitch, you are.
Whereas most rational people would be looking for the bracelet indicating which ward, which floor, which hospital.
Exactly.
Fuck!
Ah.
All right, let's talk about the rest of the movie, or else I'm just gonna get frustrated.
All right, so
You knew this was gonna happen.
Oh,
too.
I
You
did.
totally set me up for this.
I did.
I feel wronged.
It's me. I'm an evil bastard. Actually, I'm not a bastard. Oddly enough, amazing. Shocked me. I know. I'm shocked too. But no, the movie was great. I love the fight scenes. I really did. One of my favorite scenes was when Christopher Molaski?
Maloney.
Maloney. When the chopper goes down
Yeah.
and he starts shooting at Zod's female assistant.
Yeah. Whose
And-
name we can never remember.
No. From now on, I'm just gonna call her Hot Boobs.
No, it's about to be looked up by
Um,
your beloved, so you don't continue to call her hot boobs.
Oh, okay. Well, as she's walking up,
It's like calling Zoe Salanda, nice curves.
yeah.
Wow. I wish there was a way I could pitch drop that, but I can't.
So
28 years old and my voice is still fucking cracking.
she's walking up to him. He's crawling out of a crashed helicopter, and he starts shooting at her.
Who to the what now?
Ara Ui?
Faora Ul. Faora.
Okay, my beloved has looked up the name, and it is...
Feora Ul.
I'm going with hot boobs.
It's easier to pronounce.
Say F-U. That is her initials.
I'm just
True.
going with hot boobs. Either way, she's walking up.
Hot
He's
boobs is
crawling
walking up.
He's crawling out of this busted helicopter, and he starts shooting at her. Now, obviously, it's having no effect, but he keeps shooting. And this was actually the point where my beloved leaned over to me during the movie. It is like, what is he doing? Well, I can say that as somebody who has had, military training, that's what I would do in that moment. Because,
You would just panic and blind fire.
well, he wasn't really blind firing. I mean, they were all dead on shots.
But he also knew already that bullets wouldn't hurt them.
Right. And that's not the mentality he was going with. It wasn't a blind fire rationality. It was, I'm going to die. I'm about to be killed. I'm just going to throw whatever I can at you, and it's probably just going to piss you off, but I don't care. If I can irritate you however I can in my last few living moments,
Then it
I'm
might
going
be
to-
quick.
Then it might be quick, or you know what? At least I can die knowing I pissed you off.
Okay. I guess take whatever solace you can, right?
Right. And, I love the fact that he stands up, he pulls the blade on her, and she pulls the blade right back. And it's that moment of, yes, he may have been an officer, somebody in a command position, but this was a guy that I could tell had seen some shit, had seen combat, and had been through actual combat, because no standard officer is going to, A, take that rationale with somebody who's about to kill them, and let alone, B, just start, be willing to pull a knife on them and go, I'm going to die, but I'm still going to pull my knife, and I'm going to try and fight this out. And I got to respect the character for it. I loved it, because it showed me he was a true warrior.
Interesting side note, I didn't realize that Chris Maloney was actually native to this area.
Really?
Yeah, born in D.C.
Wow. Awesome. DC pride right there. Well, depending on what part of DC, that might explain the combat mentality. Sad but true. So it's I love that scene. And what did you think of it?
To be fair, I went into it with the idea that it was going to suck.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm saying of that scene. Okay.
I thought it was ancillary.
Okay. It spoke to me, but that was just one thing.
That's your background, though.
It is, and that's a part of me. That's part of my background, so it did speak to me more than others.
I can understand his mentality.
Yeah.
Not what I would have done,
Yeah.
but that's me. I'm. You could say I'm different.
Yeah. I loved in the combat sequences how, especially when he fucked Zod up by breaking the shield.
He just fucked Zod up.
A whole bunch of different times, but
just in general, Zod got fucked up.
yeah.
Bad.
But still, I loved that first major fight with him and Zod, where he just breaks the helmet, and Zod's now having to deal with hearing everything, the just sensory overload.
Yeah, that Clark has become accustomed to
Right.
for 30 years.
And so for him, it's a matter of Clark's like, hey, yeah, that sucked when I was 12. How you liking it now? And really just gave him a momentary upper hand. Because at that moment, you have two guys who are pretty equally matched.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I will say about this film that I really enjoyed was the production design, like the sets, the reimagining of the suits.
Yeah.
and the production designer is actually really, really good. Name is Alex McDowell. He did The Crow. He did Lawnmower Man.
Oh yeah.
A really good pedigree in this guy. But you could see the H.R. Giger inspired art in
Oh yeah.
in almost everything, and it was fantastic.
Now the world builder. Did you get a War of the Worlds flashback at all on that?
You know, in all honesty, I went more Star Trek.
Okay. Star Trek for
I don't know. Just something about it seemed like sort of a DS9 style outpost type thing.
Well, see, I took it more as like the tripods.
Yeah, you could.
You know,
Could
that War of the Worlds tripod look.
Yeah.
And that weapon to
Oh shit. This guy was also the production designer on Watchmen.
oh no shit.
So
Um,
that explains a lot.
odd. But the actual scientific backing that they had on the terraforming,
I know the physics behind it was
fantastic. Just absolutely, because I'm going, all right, you're gonna terraform a world. How are you doing this? Oh, you're doing it like, well, that makes sense. That works. So it did make sense in a lot of ways. I love that, I said it in the previous episode that they pulled from all arcs.
Yes.
Um,
Which we liked.
yes, we love that it was not anything that was true to one arc. Now the end.
Yes, and we sort of touched on this earlier.
Yeah. Superman, the man that in, the 80 years he's been around,
Yeah.
refuses to take a life. And he does it in this. And he does it to save a civilian's life.
And instantly regrets it.
Yeah. I respected it. I did, because it showed that Nolan style, that edgier,
It showed a more human side to Clark Kent,
right, something
who had only recently taken up the mantle. So he still isn't accustomed to the whole being a hero dealing with villainy thing.
right, and let alone somebody who's, I mean, hell, he had only gotten the suit like a week before,
If that, yeah.
because, and I did like how the missus pointed out of how did they know the suit would fit him perfectly. And well, my theory on this was that he entered this ship, and the ship has internal scanners. It probably, part of the program that his father probably wrote was to have a suit made for him.
Well, didn't they also say that the genetic code for their species was interwoven into the suit?
I believe something to that effect, or it was
Which makes me think it's not, it's not just a piece of clothing. It's like a living entity that grows.
it
type
could be
thing.
something like that. But it was something that also, why red and blue? Well, probably being a ship of severely sophisticated technology, probably just scanned his brain and went, "Oh, your favorite colors are red and blue.
Yeah.
Here's the house logo, and here's the base design that your father had."
Which, I'm not going to lie, Jor-El had a much more badass looking suit.
Oh yeah.
And the villains always get the cool looking suits.
Oh,
too.
Zod's suit was awesome. He just had that just absolute warrior.
Yeah.
Look.
Once he took off all the armor, I was like, I don't want to fuck with this guy at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, even with the suit on, I didn't.
No.
I mean, it's much better than the flowy, big shoulder padded
I am
sequin shit
fabulous.
from the original flick.
Sparkles.
Yeah.
Bedazzled. It's fabulous.
I mean, Zod is from another planet, not from the disco down the street.
Right. Or
Right, the fabulous planet in the fabulous nebula.
is he from the Lady Gaga planet?
30 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Lady
Um,
Gaga could be from the same planet.
Or maybe Lady Gaga's an alien and from the same planet that the original Zod came from, which is possible.
I think Lady Gaga just doesn't give a fuck.
That's
And
it.
wears whatever she wants.
But back to Superman.
Yeah.
So, I loved I loved the issues that arose when he was a child.
I'm glad they took the time to really illustrate those very vividly.
Yeah. This wasn't just like a slight touch on it. This was like straight up flashback memory, like saving the kids in the school bus.
I love the poetic justice there that, Clark saves the douchebag's life, and then the douchebag becomes the manager of an IHOP.
Yeah. Yeah. That whose IHOP then gets destroyed by the fight
I mean, this
with him and
I was just like,
this kid already has a couple strikes against him.
yeah.
He's overweight, and he's a ginger.
Yeah.
I mean,
So he has no soul.
no, not even that. Kid's not getting laid.
No. And he's
And
the
then-
manager of an IHOP that is now destroyed by Superman and hot boobs in a massive fight. I did enjoy that during that fight sequence, there were the people who were still sitting at their tables,
Yeah. Well,
which I could expect to see in a Kansas IHOP.
no, not in a Kansas IHOP. Maybe in, Midtown Manhattan IHOP. Or a Manassas IHOP. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a fist fight going on. I'm gonna keep eating my pancakes.
Yeah.
Not in, Kansas.
Yeah, good point.
I don't know.
Now I did love that there were a couple moments you and I did lean over to each other during the movie going, property damage everywhere.
That's one thing that I've been wondering for each one of these fucking movies. It's like there is billions of dollars in collateral damage.
I mean,
Who the fuck is paying for that?
yeah. And I mean, granted, the world builder fucked some shit up.
I mean, they blew a lot of shit up in this movie.
Oh, they did. I mean, just Smallville alone?
Within Metropolis. Like, half the city was fucking leveled.
Yeah. I
Who's
mean,
paying for that?
and, Metropolis is based on Chicago. Chicago ain't a small city.
after a while, I was wondering if there was going to be a city left.
That's a very valid point.
Yeah,
there might not have been a city left. How are they going to make the sequel? If
Okay.
you completely destroy all of Metropolis in the first flick.
And I mean, here's the other aspect is, all right, we destroy a large chunk of Metropolis. All right, we destroy Main Street of Smallville. Well, there ain't much to Smallville aside from Main Street.
There really isn't.
Now, one thing that did kind of pique me a lot in this was how many blatant ads or like product placement there was throughout this entire movie.
That's just something we have to get used to.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. They're fighting in an IHOP. Oh, look, they blew through the back of a 7-Eleven and out the front of said 7-Eleven that you can see the logo quite clearly.
Hey, there was one product placement you didn't mind too much.
Now, yes, that does, as my beloved did bring up, there was the one product placement that I loved. And I did find out that this actually showed up twice in the movie, and I didn't notice it the first time.
Which was?
LexCorp.
Yes.
Um,
Not real product placement, but I mean, it shows that they give a fuck.
if you're going to kick a truck that you want to ensure it's going to blow up, kick a LexCorp truck. Because, let's face it, LexCorp is really good at making shit that blows up.
But so is Stark.
Yeah. But we're also in Metropolis. Apparently the second one...
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah.
You know they're going to cross over.
The second one was that one of the buildings in, I believe it was a scene where something is crashing to Earth.
Yeah.
One of the buildings has LexCorp on the top.
Yeah.
Now,
Ironically, one of the few buildings that wasn't completely demolished.
yeah. Now, I don't know about you, but I did shed a little bit of a tear for Hubble.
Why?
It's the Hubble Space Telescope.
So?
It's kind of an awesome satellite. And it got fucked up.
It's been antiquated for 40 years.
Yeah, well, Now, I will say I did love at the end also of, dude, this Superman has balls. Because I can't really think of another Superman that would have been willing to A, destroy a drone, a $65 million piece of technology, B, transport said drone to the general that sent it, and then throw it at said 3-star general.
Well, what's the general going to do?
Yeah. Don't follow me home. That's a $65 million piece of technology. Don't follow me home. All right, General, you're seeming kind of stalkery here. A little rapey. Don't be all rapey, creepy, stalkerish and try and follow Superman home when he doesn't want you to. No means no.
It's sad how that's become a punchline now.
Yeah.
But anyway.
No, it's the also, well, how do we know you're fighting for America's rights? I'm from Kansas. It doesn't get much more American than that. No, it really doesn't. Baseball, apple pie, corn,
Lots of corn.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. Plenty of those in Kansas, oddly enough, even though it's not even Kentucky.
I don't know.
Yeah. But no, I did love the movie. I also did like that the Kent house got pretty fucked up because, well, the Kent house seems to always get fucked up throughout the series.
Yeah, if you're going to keep with continuity,
Yeah.
you kind of have to.
Throw that truck. I mean, I did feel bad about seeing that truck destroyed, though. That was a gorgeous truck.
Beautiful truck.
Beautiful old truck smashed into the Kent house, and I felt bad for the truck. I didn't feel bad for the house. I felt bad for the truck.
It was a nice mid-70s Chevy.
Yeah. Good old farm truck.
You know it's actually going to start when you turn the key type
Yeah.
thing.
And if it doesn't, you just kick it.
Yeah, the smack it mentality.
Yeah.
Smack it, make it work.
Pretty much. No, Smallville got really fucked up, though.
You laugh, but it works.
Smallville got so fucked up. And
Yeah.
And it's one of those where I'm like, okay, Metropolis getting fucked up. Sure, I can see Metropolis having some massive stupid insurance policy with FEMA or our superhero FEMA-related agency.
Superhero FEMA. I love it.
So, they come in and they fix up Metropolis, which kind of I see a lot better than you fuck up a small town. Like really small town. How are they going to afford to fix this? They don't have the population to support raising taxes that much.
No, but that's where FEMA does come in and take care of the small town.
Superhero FEMA.
Right. I mean, if it is only 25, 30 buildings, it can be rebuilt within a month.
Yeah. Yeah. Also an IHOP and a 7-Eleven.
Yes.
Probably the only gas station in the town.
I don't even think that was the gas station. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it
the
was.
gas station, 7-Eleven, yeah.
Yeah, because it blew up.
Right. Like it does,
Yeah.
Shit happens, gas stations blow up.
Yeah. I mean, it's the inevitable truth. No, there were just so many aspects I loved about this movie and just so many call-outs. The one thing that did kind of bug me was the awkward flight scenes. Or more the awkward hovering that he would do.
But that's what he does.
Right, but it was more the, he just got knocked on his face, not on his ass, on his face, by Zod.
Yeah.
So he's laying stomach down, and he proceeds to just float straight up, maintaining that stomach down flight pattern.
Right.
When in most comics and, Superman-style movies, we see him kind of get up and then go back to a fight scene.
Okay.
It just
I mean, it didn't bother me.
okay.
And if, in all honesty, if that's one of your biggest complaints about the movie, then we're pretty good.
Oh yeah. I did like the concept that of him healing Lois with the heat vision. Cauterizing the wound.
Yeah.
I mean,
Different.
Different.
Never seen it before, but it works.
it did, and it also made me gain a lot of respect for Lois.
Oh, she was screaming though, dude.
You're having a wound cauterized. Have you ever had a wound cauterized?
Yes.
Yeah, it hurts a lot.
Yeah.
You're burning nerve endings shut.
No, I know.
So yeah, she's screaming.
You're talking to the dude who will cut himself on a job site and heal it with super glue.
Yeah.
So,
But
it
I mean,
works.
It does work. But it is something that I did. I had to give some respect to Lois for that one because I'm like, she didn't go into shock, which was kind of impressive. She screamed a lot and passed out, but didn't go into shock. So do have to respect her for that one.
Yeah, you do.
That and I mean, I also like the concept of because I'm going, well, how are they going to bring the Fortress of Solitude into this?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, this ship turns up. You know, it's a
Very H.R. Giger inspired ship.
Right.
I mean, it looks almost straight out of the first Alien flick.
right, but also that level of why it was there made sense.
Yeah.
Where it was worked.
Yeah.
And the fact that he stole it.
Well, the story arc actually worked very well for the circumstances surrounding him getting that ship. Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, he stole it, and he took it to the North Pole. And I went, well, there's the Fortress of Solitude.
Look at it as recovering his genetic
Recovering his genetic heritage. Yeah. I mean, still stealing. But stealing with purpose and with cause.
Is it really stealing? Well, no. I mean, O.J. Simpson proved that it is stealing even if you owned it in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Stupid man.
You know, if Johnny Cochran was still alive, he could defend him.
Yeah.
But we digress.
As we do.
Yes.
We like to digress because...
We're random as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
So, let's see, what else did we have? I loved all the Kryptonians that were in it. I really liked the scenes from Krypton early on.
Yeah.
Krypton.
Something we hadn't really seen in great detail before.
No. I mean, we've seen it in the comics, we've seen it in the the cartoon series, but
nothing major film,
right.
Which was refreshing.
I will say that seeing him fly on the bug thing, did kind of take me back to, Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of Avatar-ish that he's like flying around on this big old dragonfly thing, and then crashes it. And I did feel kind of bad for that thing because it got shot in the face. But
So,
yeah,
I mean, you had giant slugs coming out of the sky in Avengers. I mean,
it happens.
yeah.
It happens. It was just overall fantastically done. I can't wait to see more from these lines, and that they're talking about, the concept. IMDb right now has a Justice League movie preempted for 2015.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I know.
I'm skeptical still. I mean, this Superman was a great movie.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm ready to make the leap to Justice League. I mean, unless it's done by the right people.
Well, you've got 2 years to get ready.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm going to have to be really...
Get ready!
I'm going to have to be really disappointed in the next couple of years. Like, if they make another Avengers movie, I'm going to be kind of pissed.
They already are.
I know.
I think that's 2014.
Yeah.
Plus, there's also the Thor sequel.
Ugh.
There's the Captain America sequel.
Why?
We have to go see them.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. We could just say we did.
No, we're not lying to these people. I would say we're good, honest podcasters, but well, we're evil, honest podcasters.
Only 50% evil.
What, me?
Both of us.
Nah.
Yeah.
We're like 60-40 for me.
I mean, neither of us is in jail.
You're in remission.
We're in remission. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
I'll take that.
I'm in remission, all right. Doesn't mean I can still go back to Spain or Canada, but
Well, I still don't.
Going into that.
yeah.
Yeah, you managed to get yourself banned from fucking Canada. Of all of the countries in the world, you got banned from Canada.
I would like to point out that when being banned from Canada, they did apologize at the border for having to ban me from Canada.
Sorry, but you can't come back.
Yeah. We
I apologize to our Canadian brethren. I didn't mean to do such a bad imitation.
But either way, it's that matter of I can't go back. So you guys keep your awesome Canadian foods if you have any up there, and I don't get any. Oh well.
Keep your awesome healthcare.
Yeah, son of a bitch. Either way. So what else do we have for Superman?
What didn't you like?
That weird flight movement.
Now, other than that, that can't be the only thing.
Kevin Costner. I was
Yes,
not
Yeah.
doing that.
I totally forgot about that, but you're right. Fuck Kevin Costner. Stay out of movies. Stay in retirement. You
Okay.
are no Mr. Kent, sir.
At least the
The
only
dude's a
thing,
worse actor than Nick Cage.
right. But at least he wasn't in the movie much.
It doesn't matter. He was in the flick, and he was a pivotal role.
He was. Also, at least he was dead.
Yeah.
Getting eaten by a tornado, interesting death for
Dude,
him.
when he got eaten, I was like, yeah, that's right. You stand there, you motherfucker, and you get torn up by that twister. Don't you dare go back to that car. Do not let Superman save you. You die, motherfucker. You die.
Little bitter.
I really hate Kevin Costner.
Did he cock block you at one point?
No, he really didn't. It's nothing personal. It's strictly based on the movies that he's made.
Oh wow.
There was some immense anger.
I mean, I enjoy the concept of Waterworld,
There's a few movies that I do like that Kevin Costner's in.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Classic. Always will be because
Yeah.
I also love baseball. I grew up on baseball.
Yeah.
I actually played baseball when I was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, baseball and apple pie, you know?
Yeah, I kind of.
America.
America.
No, that's
Superman America.
No, that's definitely NASCAR. But, I mean, he's just such a bad actor.
Yeah.
He can do better. It's just the way he portrayed the dad is just it wasn't wisdom. It was just him being scared.
Right.
That's the way it came across.
Right.
Very true. He
is
wasn't
such a one-dimensional actor.
And that was one. That's a very good point. That it wasn't about him, showing wisdom. It was being scared for what the world would do, and it did inflict a lot of fear into Clark, or into Kal-El.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that did kind of bring an interesting factor to the character as well, though. I will say I did love the scene where he's in the jail, or he's in the holding room, and he's got the handcuffs on, and he
And
just
snaps them like they're tinfoil.
Oh yeah, just stood up and they fell apart. He's like, "Look, there's nothing you can do."
I'm letting you do this to make you more comfortable, but really, not gonna work.
Yeah,
And even Lois says,
Yeah.
"Really? Why?" He's like, it makes him feel better."
Yeah.
yeah. It's an interesting concept to it. I did like the fact that he's like, "Oh yeah," and you've got half a roll of lifesavers in your front pocket, seeing that through the one-way tinted window.
Yeah.
Um,
One of the many reasons I would not want to hang out with Clark Kent.
no,
He's a douchebag and would probably cheat at cards.
I was.
He would cheat at cards. You're absolutely right.
He would cheat at cards, but he would admit to it later because he's such a nice guy.
And then probably give back the money he won for it.
Right.
And somehow you would end up feeling like a douchebag.
Be like,
I feel guilty for taking all of your money. Here, have half of it back.
By half.
And somehow you would end up like taking half of it, but you would feel guilty about taking half of it.
No, you won it fair and square. You take it.
He's like, actually, no, I
No, I didn't. I won by cheating.
didn't.
Yeah.
My extra bid.
But that's not the American way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The American way, that can be very, very.
It's much more dog eat dog than play fair. But
Batman's more American.
yeah. I'm a multi-billionaire capitalist. I'm going to use every cent I have at my disposal and this company that I own to fund everything I do.
Also, to build a Justice League Watchtower and make it a line item, or not a line item in the research and development budget.
Right. I don't know. Superman to me is one of those characters, sort of like Aquaman, that I can do without.
He's just too
But-
overpowered, but
But I really enjoyed this movie.
yeah, fantastically done. I was not a big fan of the scene where, what's her face, little reporter girl got trapped in the building.
Lois Lane.
No, that wasn't Lois.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the intern.
And the building collapse.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Larry Fishburne.
yeah.
Anything Lawrence Fishburne is in is good, as far as I'm concerned.
But see, that was one of those moments that I'm like, they're trying to save her, and this thing is gonna kill them all, and I'm going, yeah, most people I know, if I was trapped in that situation, would be trying to save me for about a minute, and then they would see that shit coming closer and be like, dude, I'm sorry,
I'm
it's
out."
been nice, peace.
But then you run the risk of them surviving, coming back to you and said, "You would have been fine. You would have been alive. You could have pulled me out, you fucking selfish bastard."
And if it was me, I probably would have been going, yes, I am a selfish bastard, and self-preservation is kind of a key to life.
Yeah. Part of the whole human experience thing.
Yeah. Now, one thing I would have liked to see more is that weird bald doctor dude that was, like, taking his blood. I want to see more from him. He interested me.
Okay. Take one of the most
I really did find him fascinating.
one of the most background characters in the flick,
Yeah, because
and you want to invest in him.
Yeah. Also-
everyone else seemed to be almost like a soldier or kind of
Everybody else
soldier mentality.
had a much more militaristic defined role.
There was
But he was
And
the
then-
mad scientist. He was the mad scientist of Krypton, and I wanted to know more about him. I also want to know more about that, like, 8-foot tall Kryptonian that was fighting with hot boobs.
Yeah. What the hell happened to him?
Yeah, and how do you end up with an 8-foot tall Kryptonian that's like, was he a Samoan Kryptonian? Because I'm going, that guy's pretty fucking big.
I remember the first time we saw him on screen. I was like, oh, whoa. Big dude.
It's like shit got real.
And he ain't saying, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
Yeah. And it's also, you're not Doomsday. So what was the deal with this guy? Where'd he come from? How'd he get so big? Was he just a genetic, especially if,
I mean, dude had to be 8 feet tall.
yeah, and the other aspect is, all right, if we're going with the storyline and Kryptonians are genetically engineered,
Heck was he built for?
I mean, he must have been built for just fucking shit up. What it boils down to. I mean, you don't build an 8 foot tall dude unless you want him to play pro basketball or fuck shit up.
well, it wasn't also, he wasn't the pro basketball build. He was 8 foot tall and built like a Samoan.
Yeah.
I mean,
Football build.
Yeah, he was football built.
I mean,
absolutely right.
That's the guy that I, will take a 50 cal vehicle mounted gun
You'd have to.
and just hand it to him and
Here you
go,
go.
He'll hold it like a pistol.
and, yeah, and he'll hold it like a pistol, and you're going, you got that? Yeah, I'm good. You got another one? Okay.
It's like Arnold in Predator, right? He takes a weapon that is traditionally mounted to a Humvee.
Yeah.
Not just a Jeep, a Humvee.
Yeah.
And just walks around with it.
Well, it was like one of the old guys in my unit. You know, 6 foot, or he was 6'7" Samoan, and he actually did have a vehicle mounted 50 caliber that he had on a shoulder strap and would shoot from the hip.
Was the strap made of Kevlar?
Yes, actually.
Okay.
And I mean, this is a gun that is mounted on a Humvee yet again, but this is the guy in my unit who is holding this thing, and it looks like an M16 to him.
Oh my God. I mean, I've met some big dudes in my day.
I mean, he was 6'7" and 450 pounds of muscle.
Like, one of the guys I work with is about 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Not a small dude. But, you know, almost 7 feet tall, dreadlocked. And, you know, Johnny Three Legs. He works at a Jiffy Lube. Sure you have.
Okay, we digress.
Anyway.
So yeah, I mean, this giant Kryptonian that I was kind of disappointed there wasn't more of a brutal fight with him and Superman, because I would expect him to fuck Superman the fuck up.
See, I could see Superman grabbing, like, a light post and just swinging for the fences on this dude's head, and dude just standing there. Like, you done?
Yeah.
Can we move on to the next part of this fight, where you pick up another ineffective weapon?
Oh, you're gonna hit me with a semi? Oh, I had to take a step back.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, he threw the LexCorp, not just single trailer, double
The
trailer,
trailer
truck.
at Superman. And actually, no, he didn't throw it. He kicked it.
It may as well have been,
A Hot Wheels car to him.
yeah, pretty much. Or like a couch on wheels or something.
Yeah,
You know?
this guy was just ginormous. I loved him. Yeah, if there were any two characters I could have known more about, it was giant Kryptonian tank man
Yeah.
and creepy scientist Kryptonian man.
I really would have liked to have seen much more of the Kryptonians. I know we got
Yeah.
more than we ever have before,
Right.
but something about that.
But it's the American way. We want more. More. America, give us more.
It's not even about that. It's just fascinating looking landscape, fascinating looking planet.
Yeah.
It's like in the most recent Star Trek film. It's like, yeah, I know the backstory of Khan.
Yeah.
I still want to know more
Yeah.
because it's an interesting character.
Exactly. And especially, I mean, Zod just did it so fucking well. I mean, he really was crazy to the T, and I fucking loved it. It's the armor was incredible, and that really got me, because the armor was something that I can look at from a, you know, military and combat experience and go, that's not, you know, ornamental armor. That is actually fundamental practical armor that would protect you in a fight.
I will say it was kind of badass to see Zod just peeling the shit off.
Yeah, just to duke it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Yo, where he's like,
Let's settle this like a couple of Kryptonians.
yeah, not, you know, let's not settle this as men. Let's settle this as Kryptonians.
Yeah.
Crink, 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 and you're like, that armor that has been taking like laser blasts, like they're nothing, and you're just peeling it off like you're ripping an empty soda can in half.
Here, pull up a couple of the stills if you got them, or if you can find any,
Of Zod and armor?
or just anything Kryptonian from the new movie. I mean, like I said, the production designer on this flick has the pedigree, and is just insanely cool in everything he did for this flick.
Right there. Oh, and
The prisoner collar
yeah.
is still on the armor. That's cool.
Yeah, and I mean that's that crazy look right there.
Yeah. But second row all the way to the right. I mean, yeah, that's probably a toy, but that is the H.R. Giger design. Like, we even saw it in Prometheus.
Yeah.
You know, similar sort of look.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks great. That is
That's
That is-
straight Giger.
that is.
That's straight Prometheus style too.
and the backgrounds behind
Actually, that is
it. That is from Prometheus.
Yeah. We just mistook a Prometheus still.
For a Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it is that I have an extreme admiration for H.R. Giger and all the artwork he's ever done. So, anything I see that looks similar to it, I'm fascinated by. But, you know, the whole... Everything about this movie was just amped up. You know, nobody seemed... Like, aside from Kevin Costner, nobody seemed out of place. Everybody seemed, like, really perfectly cast. I don't know. I mean... I should reiterate, though, that we are not being paid by anybody for any review that we give. This is straight from us, no filter, no censorship. We say what we want. We say it how we
We don't
want.
give a fuck.
Pretty much. There. That image right there. Up. To the right. To the right. That one.
Yeah. Actually, kind of reminds me of the Helgen from Killzone.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, if you were to take Alien and Helgen and combine the two.
Yep. That's it. Of course, right next to your favorite character. Up. Left.
Ah, hot boobs.
Yes.
Yeah. I did find the command key concept rather interesting.
I dug it.
Yeah, something that you can put into any form of Kryptonian technology and it's going to download that program. And it wasn't like a one-time use thing either.
No, it's essentially like a thumb drive.
Yeah,
But,
with a repeating software algorithm,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
which was fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. I also like the capsule that they put him in as a baby.
Yeah.
I also really liked how they discussed
Say again?
Not in an elaborate egg like you've seen in the past.
Right.
Right.
Not the obligatory tarted up egg.
the Mork and Mindy egg.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
we,
I went
we
there.
could do 2 hours on Mork and Mindy,
Oh,
but
we
we're
could.
not going to.
Yeah, and how many of you out there had forgotten about Mork and Mindy until today? You're welcome. Nanu.
You bastard.
I can do worse. So, you know, what was I saying before we got discussing an egg and you got me into Mork and Mindy?
Shiny!
The keys.
Oh yeah, the keys. You know, it's the actual pod that they put him in as a kid. One of the things I wondered about it was that you're putting a baby in this capsule, right? Is this like a cryo unit at all? I mean, granted, it did show that massive Rosenberg bridge technology.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about creating a wormhole here. And granted, yeah, he's alien. He's a alien child, and I'm sure that it would be shielded to protect him from the effects of doing a Rosenberg gateway jump. But the level of speed that it came in fascinated me because it also shot from, what was that? Probably Saturn? I think that was Saturn is where it entered the solar system.
Yeah.
Saturn is a huge way out. And the amount of speed it had upon going from Saturn to Earth was a matter of minutes.
Well, bear in mind, this is also housing the character that from dead stop goes supersonic in seconds.
Right. And But see, here's what really got me is watching that scene where the pod's coming in over Kansas.
Right.
That wasn't a crash. That was a controlled re-entry. And for a pod that was fundamentally designed and built at home,
Yeah.
to be able to do a controlled re-entry on an unknown planet with unknown gravitational factors
Right.
was incredible. You know, that just spoke wonders about Jor-El.
Yeah, because
It's we're compensating for factors that we know nothing about.
Right.
So yeah, I was genuinely impressed because watching it, knowing that, and seeing its actual descent into the Earth's atmosphere, it didn't have a out of control entry. It didn't destroy the Earth's atmosphere upon entry, which is a possibility in numerous different theories, that a ship or a object entering Earth's atmosphere in a very uncontrolled entry
Right.
could fundamentally cause a chain reaction and ignite the Earth's atmosphere.
Thermonuclear detonation.
Yeah.
Is essentially what could happen.
So, genuinely, right on par. You know, it was the little things that really got me too. And what
That's just gorgeous.
kind of. That's kind of a rough looking Superman though. I don't know. We just clicked on some random link.
Superman's Metropolis comic cover. To me, it just looks cool because it's got that sort of Art Deco look to it.
Yeah, you and Art Deco.
Me and a lot of things.
Yeah, it's like me and propaganda art.
Me and stuff.
What is this?
Is
This
that
is
all
interesting.
the families?
I think this is
Yep.
Man of Steel Kryptonian ancestral nameplates. Name and glyph maker.
Oh, so you can make your own Man of Steel styled.
Of course, you knew it was gonna happen.
I was hoping that it wouldn't,
Yeah.
but you know, Paul
Yeah.
That's a loud mouse.
It is. It's because my mouse pad died on my computer. But no, I mean it overall just
That image that you got your cursor on right now.
this one.
No, the one above it. That just speaks volumes.
Oh yeah. Where she's putting the collar on Lois.
Yeah.
Was really interesting. Interesting concept because it really did bring in that factor of what's so different about Kryptonian atmosphere.
Right.
You know, I would assume that it would actually be a heavier atmosphere.
Well, we never really knew.
And see, part of what makes me think it was a heavier atmosphere was that when Ma Kent was talking about it with him and saying you had such a trouble breathing as a child.
Yeah.
You know, somebody who's used to a heavier atmosphere has difficulty breathing in thinner air. So I would think that their atmosphere would be heavier than ours.
It's kind of like going up
It's
sea level.
Yeah.
going from sea level to the mountains.
Right.
It's going to be difficult for somebody.
That would just suck.
Um,
I'd pass out. Like me today, if I went from this level to Denver, I would probably pass out.
I used to be able to drink like a champ when I would go out of state.
Well, yeah.
Because I was used to
If you-
growing up in Colorado, I'd be used to the thinner air.
Yeah.
If
so,
you're used to the thin
so you
air,
get down to super oxygenated level, and you could drink like a champ, drinking everybody under the table.
but it is a level of going from. It almost makes me wonder then why would Lois need the control collar? Why would she need the oxygen collar? Because if it is a heavier atmosphere, she should be okay. But I think part of that was that the Kryptonians may not have known. They may have done it just to be on the safe side with her.
It's that it wasn't formatted for
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the atmosphere was designed for Kryptonians, which would
Basically, we don't want to have to deal with you doing whatever.
right. We don't want you passing out from over oxygenation or
Right.
under oxygenation, whatever the case may be.
So it was just a very overall fantastic movie. I was very pleased with it on a lot of different factors. So, yeah. Other than that, not too much I've got in regards to Man of Steel. How about you?
Only that I'm going to go see it again to give another theater a chance to do the sound right.
Also gonna try it in, IMAX, or
IMAX and IMAX 3D, probably
Yeah.
both, because it looked fantastic, and if I can see that image bigger and in 3D, why not?
definitely. So, overall, I gave it a 4.6 out of 5.
I gave it a 4.2, but I am reserving my full commentary about it until after I see it in a theater with better audio. And that's all I'm saying. Please don't send any hate mail. Please don't, threaten our livelihood on Twitter and Facebook because of my opinion.
Then again, if you do, wouldn't be the worst thing that's ever been said to me.
Too true.
Yeah. Just ask my ex-wife. She's got plenty.
In fact, don't.
Yeah, don't.
You would find her unpleasant.
Yeah. Either way. So that's all we got, and until next week, minions.
See you guys later.
Later.